Sentire Media.
All right, here we go. First one of the new year. Welcome. Thank you for downloading our podcast from Italy on the 10th of January. I'm Jason.
Ciao, I'm Ashley.
And together we have La Tavola Marche, a little agriturismo in the foothills of the Apennine Mountains in a little town called Piobico, technically in Sant'Angelo, but doesn't really matter about that.
No.
Today is 10th of January. It is going to shape up to be a beautiful winter's day. The weather is clear. We have some clouds. The sun's coming up. It says it's 1 degree centigrade, but it doesn't feel that cold because the air's not moving. It's just we've had a very, very, very mild winter.
So let's do a little holiday wrap-up.
Wrap up.
Well, the last podcast was shockingly just a few weeks ago. But
it was in the last year, so we can still say
true.
We only did two last year.
That's really sad. But since we've last podcasted, we've had Christmas, New Year's, Befana, all of that. We had to switch mics, I think.
Sorry, she's got that sounds better. Sorry.
I've got the loud voice. I need the quieter mic. So Christmas and New Year's was classic with Gaggi and Rosanna. And what I mean by classic is, so this year we did Christmas Eve. A lot of times we do Christmas Eve with Gaggi and Rosanna, a little dinner at their house. And then Christmas Day we'll go over the hill. I say at the hill, like it's not a big deal, but over the Apennines into Città di Castello with her family. But this year the plans had changed a little and they were going to his family, yada, yada, yada. So we were just doing Christmas Eve. And then we also did New Year's Eve. And both of those evenings were the exact same except for what was on the table. We show up. They just, dinner's cooking. At first when you walk in, it's like, oh, cozy and quaint and exactly what you want. The fire's going and the news is on. And then it quickly settles into the classic bickering, just like out of an old movie or TV show. The news is on so loud. They start to argue about different things. And then they take turns telling each other to shut up. I'm trying to watch the news.
Okay, hold on. We got it. This is not like they sit down and watch the 6 o'clock news. There's news channels like at home for you all day long. So they do the same transmission basically with the same B-roll and everything, but it goes from channel Rai 1 to Rai 2 to channel Cinque to whatever. So you could see it like 4 times in a row. So I would say we got over there at 6:30 or so. I would say this is number 2.
At least, absolutely.
For the evening.
Yes.
I've
already seen the same feeds, but it's the shut up. And the classic bickering and whatnot, but it's become so comforting and traditional. It's the classic Christmas. They don't do decorating or anything like that, but there's always a good meal on the table. This year for New Year's Eve, we did the zampa. Can you explain what this is? This is not my favorite.
This is a stuffed pig's trotter. That is, so you either have, normally you have lentils on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, stewed lentils with either cotechino, which is like a type of a sausage that you boil.
I love it.
It's real fatty. It's hard to explain.
It's not like spicy or anything like that, but it works really well with the lentils, and it's filled more with it's weird stuff.
No, it's not weird. It's just a fattier. Oh. Yeah, there's some weird stuff in there.
I thought so.
But it's just a fattier sausage. You wouldn't grill it. You wouldn't put it in the oven. You boil it first. Mm-hmm. Then the other thing you can do is zampa maiale. It's literally a deboned pig's hoof stuffed with a similar filling. It's not the same. We don't need to go into the slight details. It's just same thing. Most of the time you buy this in a boil bag.
Yeah, it's like you get the.
Okay, it's from a company called Fini, Fini, and it comes in a blue box. It is everywhere. You can see them at the auto grills. You can see them in every grocery store. In all of it. It is the one you get. Now, you can also find butchers will make them and things like that. But you boil it in this, and it usually comes in a bag that you would, like a sottovuoto bag that you would boil. You boil it in the bag in boiling water, and all the fat comes out of it. And then you take it out of the bag, you slice it up, and then you put it into the stewing lentils, and you finish it like that. You can eat the skin around. Like you...
But it, like, falls away.
Yeah, it's more of a... I would say... I don't know if this is true, but I would say cotechino is more of the... city one you would have, and the Zampa is more of the country style.
Well, I prefer the cotechino. The Zampa, it just the
Zampa.
The Zampa. I know I said it came out really American. It just looks so gross. The idea that it comes from the grocery store bag thing. It just like the cotechino. Like the little butchers around here all make their own. So you just know
most butchers make the cotechino. Not all the butchers make this stuff.
And it was just God. I don't know. The consistency is a little too soft for me, but her lentils were just delicious. But so we had that. Gaggi was hilarious because he also is very weirdly, well, always a curmudgeon, but very weirdly specific on cheersing for New Year's. Jason said, great, let's come over for New Year's, but we don't have to stay up till midnight. We'll just do a little brindisi, a little cheers early. Well, then that's not technically New Year's.
Well, first he started with, yeah, no one's staying up till midnight.
Exactly.
And it's like, I don't care. I don't really care. I haven't seen midnight since the summertime. And he's like, yeah. And then in the next breath, it's, well, if we don't do a cheers at midnight, it's not real. It's like, all right, well, fine. It's fake.
Fine, whatever. We'll do it at 8:30 and call it a wrap. Whatever. So that was our nice little laid back. We were home by 10 and asleep by 10:30, 11. So nothing crazy and wild. Pretty quiet out here during the holidays for the most part. But during that Christmas to New Year's, you and Gaggi did the classic sausage making tradition.
We made them actually. I picked up the meat probably on the 22nd.
Oh, you're right. It was right before Christmas because this was earlier than ever.
So
explain why.
This autumn we were talking about it, and we've had problems in the last few years with warmer weather towards the end of February. Normally we do the sausages and salamis anywhere from now until towards the end of January because the slaughterhouses stop slaughtering pigs between basically right after Christmas all the way until Epiphany, 6th of January. So it's hard to get a large quantity of meat. So this year we said, well, let's be smart.
And we do this, and we're talking about the dates changing because we cure them ourselves naturally.
And you need cooler weather. In the last few years, we've had a heat wave. It just hasn't been winter temperatures at the end of February for like a week, 10 days, and it screws everything up. If the meat gets too warm, it doesn't cure properly because we don't have it in a refrigerator unit. It's literally hanging in the rafters of the top floor of one of the apartments. So let's be smart this year. Let's do it early. I'll order the meat in mid-December, and we'll get it all done. And this way, by February, the sausages will start being done, and by the end of February, the salamis will be done. It's like 6-8 weeks for sausages, 8 to 12 for the salamis, depending on how thick they are, how dry the area is. You're doing it naturally, so there's, you got to play with it a little bit.
So just as usual, he orders the meat, gets it early. There's always the conversation with Gaggi. How much did you spend? You had to tell him a different price.
Oh, I had to lie. I had to lie through my teeth. So you can get three different qualities of meat from most of the butchers. You can get just pork from Europe, and it could come from France. It could come from God only knows. Doesn't matter. It's the cheapest pork you can possibly find. You can get carne nazionale, which is from Italy, but it could be from a industrial kind of producer. Or you can get carne locale, local small production from people right around here. So I went for the carne locale. The difference in price is great.
Whoa! What are you, the Rockefeller?
It's double. So you can find pork shoulder for €6, €6.50 a kilo for the European one. You can find it for $7.50, something like that. I mean, everything's gone up in price.
And what did you pay?
I paid $11.
And what did you tell Gaggi you paid?
$7. So I ate it. I ate because we split it, and he's like, "How much do I owe you? How much is the?" That's his first thing every time. How much is the meat? Now, in years gone by, he wants to go and get the. I don't understand this. He's a doctor, like. He loves Italy. He likes the country. Like, why are we not supporting these people?
Why are we making it from scratch using crappy
shit meat? I understand. So years gone by, I've gotten either the carne italiana or just the from anywhere in Europe, and it's I don't know. Why are we doing that? So this year, I didn't say anything. I just went out and did it. Spent a ton of money on this meat. So I can't tell him that it's 11 euros a kilo. He will lose his shit. He will lose his shit. There was 4 kilos in just trimmings. Like, we had to trim up the meat. I think we took off too much fat. So there should have only been 2 kilos. But if you do the math, that's almost 45 euros in just fat in a garbage can. So I had to lie through my teeth about that. So
then there was the classic every single year argument about salt to make sure the salt.
Yeah, we had to go. Luckily, Ashley's smart. She has made a video of this so that we can play it for him every year. Straight out of the mouth of Vittorio, who is the one who taught us how to make the sausages and salamis. So that wasn't.
He will argue with that.
Yeah, that wasn't that big of a deal. But the shit of it is of course Murphy. We have had high pressure in Italy since before Christmas. Christmas Day, Ashley wouldn't go out. Christmas Day, Ashley made me close all the shutters because the sun was out, and it was like 15 degrees Christmas Day. It was gorgeous. Like,
okay, push pause. That is disgusting. I grew up in Seattle. At the very least, just give me some crappy weather, some clouds, some rain. If I can't get the rain, if I can't get snow, and then there's not going to be crappy rain and thunderstorms, at least let it be foggy or dark and covered clouds. But this sunny bullshit and
warm.
Not even cold. Freaking warm. I refused to go outside.
She closed all the shutters. I took the dog out. I was in like a long sleeve.
I was like, gross. I just gotta say gross.
It was so warm. I was in like a long sleeve sweatshirt kind of thing. I guess all sweatshirts are long.
Well, I'll tell you who hates the warm Christmas more than I do. The sausages.
Jesus Christ. I cannot believe it. I have hundreds of euros of meat just rot. I think it's rotting. It looks good, like as far as the aspect of it. When because I move it, you have to move this to different
the
links to make sure it dries evenly. The aspect of it, it looks great. The smell smells like a dirty. The room smells like a dirty butcher shop that no one has cleaned, and the refrigeration is dubious.
So gross.
It smells like a butcher shop in like a warm weather climate, like the Caribbean or something. Not good.
No.
Not hot.
So
if I was a betting man, I'm saying that stuff all goes in the trash. But
Okay, for someone out there, like we were telling this to my best friend and her husband, and he's tried to make sausages and things like that from venison in Seattle. And he was saying, I always thought I was messing up on the salt ratio or different things like that. But maybe I just can't get the right temperature consistently cold either, where he's trying to cure it. So what would be something, if the aspect looks good, what, like you said, using your nose, but what other senses could you use, or what are you looking for to know that it's not right? Or do you cut one open at a certain
We're going to cut
point?
one open today. So if it's not going correctly, what will happen is one of 3 things. If you have too much air moving through the room, it will dry superficially.
People just say, just open a window.
No, that's not correct.
Or turn on a fan.
Too much air moving will dry everything superficially and create a crust, and then it'll start rotting from the inside, and you'll get these abscesses. Like when you go to cut the salami open, you'll see like
holes, like little tunnels.
Yeah, not tunnels. Like it just does. It's not compact. The meat's not all together. It's an abscess, and that's from the it not curing correctly. Now you can also have abscesses if you don't fill it properly. If you have air pockets in there, or if the meat as you're filling it with the stuffer, if it doesn't evenly distribute through the casing, you can have that problem too. But that's a different look. This will be an abscess with like crystallization around the inside and a little bit of mold in there.
The color?
The color, it won't be that really dark red, nice, beautiful salami color. It'll be a grayish color. It is not garbage. I mean, you could still eat it, but it's just it won't last. And it has an off taste. God, you'll eat the shit out of it.
Of course I will.
I will not. I don't. To be quite honest, most of the stuff we make, I don't eat. It's mostly for the guests or, public relations,
as Gaggi calls it.
But we'll see. I am not holding out much hope for it. So, what temperatures do we need? We need single digits during the day. So we need 8 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
We had last week 18 degrees and 12 at night.
Yeah, we had 12 at night the other day, 18 in the afternoon. It was insane.
This is not normal.
No, not normal. And dry. We really haven't had rain since before you got back from Seattle.
Well, right when I got back.
Right when you got back. So you got back on the 10th, 9th?
10th.
So it's always something. Mm-hmm. It's warm. It's gorgeous out. It's absolutely. I'm going to go take the dog here for a walk this morning, and I'll just need a light jacket and some jeans because it's going to be 14.
We'll keep you guys posted on the sausages. This is why, especially if you don't have the right climate, that Jason recommends doing something like finding like a Coca-Cola cooler, or But we do so much salami and sausages.
Oh, if you ever want, if this is the third. 2 years in a row, I've ruined it. If we ruin it this year, I'm not doing it naturally anymore. We're going to have to get. So what does she mean by that? America, it's easier. Here, it's harder. You can find broken down Coca-Cola refrigerators. The double door, single door ones. You see them in every Quickie Mart and gas station and all that. You can get them if they're broken in the sense that you're not looking for a refrigerator. You're looking for a control the humidity and the temperature. In the sense of you want cool. Think of a cellar, like wine. You basically want what red wine and white wine wants to be kept at. If you keep it at those temperatures, you're good to go. And a broken down Coca-Cola refrigerator will keep it at 6 degrees or 7 degrees, but you can control the humidity, which is the most important part. Too dry, no good. It dries out too quick. Too wet, and it produces bad mold. It's the Bears, it's too warm, no good. Too cold, no good. Too much air, no good. Too little air, no good. It's very, very much a feel, unless you get a big walk-in unit that you could just set it at, 72% humidity and 8 degrees, buona notte, and it will come out perfect.
So we'll see what happens.
Moving on.
Well, speaking of having this nice weather, it means the festivities were popping all over for Christmas, for New Year's, for Befana. Everyone's out because it's just so nice and warm. So our little neighboring village, Urbania, is known as the home of La Befana. And La Befana she's not a witch, but she's like the nice old lady.
She's a good witch.
Who comes and cleans your house. And this is the whole thing of the story where the stockings come from. And bad kids get the coal, good kids get treats. And she sweeps the fireplace, and she sweeps while she comes to leave the treats for the kids. Now, this is all really based around a Catholic holiday, Epiphany, of the kings arriving to give Jesus his gifts, and the baptism of Jesus, I think. This is 12 years. Let's go if you can see Jason's face right now.
I don't understand that. You went to 12 years of parochial school. Actually, probably more. You probably went to kindergarten, right, too, as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so 13, 14 years of parochial school? How the hell do you not know what the...
Just don't worry about it. That's for another podcast.
What do they teach you guys there?
Just,
Oh, they just have their money out. Money, please. Don't worry about it?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead.
Anyway, we thought, perfect. Let's go, and we'll go and check out the festivities for Befana. It's like 3 nights in Urbania. So the first evening, we went early and took Leroy to do a little walk around.
We went for like the babies, like bring your toddlers and little babies. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon.
It's so funny to take him around too, because the reaction on kids' faces.
People don't know who Leroy is.
Oh, sorry. That's our gigantic Great Dane puppy, who is almost 7 months and is 100 pounds.
Plus. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We weighed him before Christmas.
He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Most people, when they take their dog into town, have like little dogs, like little lap dogs. And so it's just so fun to see the reaction.
I do not like attention. But I got a dog. It's like saying I don't like attention, but I drive a Ferrari with the top down in the winter through town. I don't really want attention. This dog you can't walk 5 steps without someone either eyes popping out of their head and running or eyes popping out of their head and coming towards you. It's just...
Kids are either terrified and walk away or their eyes are so wide and they go, Cabello. It's so cute. So it was fun to take him around, and poor Jason's arm was going to get pulled out of the socket at some point. Just try to keep him close because he's just so big.
He's big. He's not bad. He's really good. He's not jumpy. He's not doing any of that. But he's a puppy, 6.5 months old. So he's
this was a little much. There was a lot
going on, and he's a little pulley. Mm-hmm. And if you had a golden retriever that was a tiny, he's not like choking himself on the leash, but he's just not staying on my hip like I want him to.
No, so there's just 100 pounds leaning on pulling on Jason's arm constantly,
and he's dude strong.
So we just did a little nice walk around and came back home, but we thought let's go on the last night without the dog and enjoy it and get a drink and walk around and stuff. So we went back on Befana on January 6th, and we were there at like 6 o'clock-ish. And as we got in, we could see some fireworks and some smoke coming out of the main piazza. And it was like, whoa, we're here for the big event. This is crazy. Spectacular. And so we were like, we're going to see Befana coming off of the bell tower or something, which is normally what happens. And this is perfect timing. And we come around the corner, and the best way to call it is some sort of satanic, pagan, ritualistic sacrifice. I'm not sure what was going on. There was highly produced in the main piazza at 6:30 at this huge family event.
Horned,
like antler horn with monsters with flames coming out of their antlers. 2 women in white that look like the virgins. I feel like this was called the Rape of Beatrice or something. I don't know.
It was the music was
so scary.
All right, I'm not a prude. All right,
no, I know we're not.
Befana, it's just changed since the first year we've come.
Okay, so that's why this is so crazy. And we've never seen anything like this before anyway, let alone at a children's thing. And the first year, I called my sister when we got home, and I was like, Megan, this is so weird. Can you believe what we saw? We have to. Ashley has a crappy cell phone video she took of it. Yes.
We're not being overly dramatic. This was fucking weird.
And complete with one random guy with a sandwich board with a Bible verse protesting, saying this is a children's event. You've welcomed the devil, which it kind of felt like it. It was weird because the first year we were there 15 years ago, my sister was in tow. We're in the main piazza, and we're not waiting for this crazy sacrifice happening. We are waiting for Befana, the good witch, to come down the bell tower
into the piazza.
And as she goes to descend, the whole piazza hushes, and just the 3 of us, it might not have even been Jason, but it was definitely my sister and I, full on Arsenio Hall style, woo, 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 like whoop it up and start like, woo, cheering. Everyone turns and stares at us. We're already so tall, we tower over everyone. And it was like, we were hushed. It was like, this is, Befana descends in respectful silence, and to the hushed crowds.
So normally this is clowns, people on stilts, women dressed up like old
in rags,
people pushing like the jalopy carts with all the things and
like an old timey band
throwing out candy. Man,
that's why this was the creepiest thing we'd ever seen.
So we go home and try to look up who's the production, where did this come from, what's the name of it? Because normally it'll be like the 2 performers, Daniele and Marco, perform their acrobatic, and you can see their website on the program online, and freaking nothing.
All this was called was Nuovo Gruppo Teatro.
the new theater group.
Okay.
A piccolo theater for a little play from the new theater group.
So just real weird. Just showing the differences in the last 15 years we've been here. But all was forgiven, and the next day, which was the Living Nativity in Piobico. So going from one extreme to the other. And this was very sweet. Every year we do the Living Nativity in Piobico. Now, the date is not a set date. This date seems very flexible.
Fluid. It's fluid.
Sometimes it's before Christmas. Sometimes it's between Christmas and New Year's. Sometimes this year now it's the day after Befana.
Now, it used to be also little things that they would do, like the baby born closest to Christmas would be baby Jesus in the bassinet in the big manger scene.
Didn't matter if it was a boy or girl, but whoever's family had the baby closest to Christmas, this was the coolest thing. No matter if it was a firstborn or thirdborn, the whole family sits together as baby Jesus in the manger.
Live animals. They would give lambs to little kids in town to take home for a few days, so the lamb gets comfortable in your arms, so you can sit there in the scene and the lamb won't freak out. And just they went into a lot of back in the day. This is when we first arrived. They would have torches lining all the streets, to walk along with like this torchlight. They just really did it up for this one. Not so much anymore.
Jason rated it what?
Give it a 4.
I gave it a 6. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. But
why do I say that? One, we've replaced the torch lights with coffee cans with some kind of acidic smoke coming
I don't know what that was.
That was...
It looked like the sticks Gaggi used to try to smoke.
No, I don't know. It wasn't charcoal. It was... So they wanted to go for like a smoky effect. I guess the beautiful torches that they've been doing for 50 years were no good anymore. So they got coffee cans and they lined everything with coffee cans. And I'm sure it's some ecological bullshit. Meanwhile, everyone's choking to death. Eyes are watering. It had this weird chemically smell to it. It was very off-putting. You couldn't walk into, you could see the smoke moving, so you got to stand in a place where the smoke's not getting you because it was disgusting. Next.
I think what else you didn't like was 0 donkeys.
Yeah, normally they have one of the stations is always a bunch of animals like donkeys and goats and all these.
There was one white horse. It was a pretty horse, but it was like, what the hell is this white horse?
Okay, first of all,
random.
It was one white horse. It looked like the guy arrived. It looked like transportation. It didn't look like part of the. I think he arrived on that horse.
You just kept going, where are the donkeys?
And the coup de grace. Am I saying that correctly?
What?
Baby Jesus in the manger. Freaking doll.
That was really disappointing.
Why don't we just mail the whole thing in?
And then the electricity went out at one point of the big lights.
It was still very sweet. It was nice. They busted out all the old wool costumes.
So they open up the old castle and the old part of town and the kind of old cantinas and the ground floors of these just super old buildings, then become scenes.
So they have a paper maker, and they have someone doing wool, and they have
someone
the Roman
baskets.
They have
dinner.
The Roman officers doing a barbecue with
someone making bread. It's all very sweet.
It just seemed like they didn't put the same. What's the word? Heart into it as they did in years past.
I think there were less people and stuff too.
Oh, in it? Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But there was less stuff. Like it just not even the scenes. It was just not dressed. Is that the right word?
Dress the set, yes.
Yeah, they didn't dress it correctly.
So, but it was nice. It felt like...
Did I talk enough shit about...
Yeah.
Okay.
It was still sweet, small town. Hilariously, incredibly warm. And why I say hilariously is that we followed suit just like the rest of the locals, and we bundled up like it was cold ass night. Yet we're all in hats and gloves.
Warm night.
It was a warm night, but we all bundled up like it was super cold. So it was just funny because it was like no one could just go out and enjoy the evening being kind of felt like a late October night, but we've all got the hats and gloves and scarves on and the puffy coats still. But So that was our holiday festivities for the most part.
So with that is the end of basically the holiday season. Epiphany and
Yep. We still have
over.
2 panettone.
No. Those are going to the chickens, man.
All right, good.
Those are going to the chickens.
Thankfully, we have to take this dog on multiple walks a day. We do them about an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. And most often it's just along the road. Every once in a while we'll go into town like we mentioned. But it means that it takes us, because you're going up and down so often along the road, you get off and go onto these trails and places we haven't gone in years at times. Like there's certain spots out in the woods we go a lot with the guests to go mushroom hunting and things like this. But after months with the dog doing these walks, you start exploring a bit further and further. And it is so fun to kind of check out old ruins. I've talked about that before. I love it. But I found some other old ruins the other day, or just these cool paths and these old, I really like finding the old logging roads, because they're kind of cleared enough. They take you on weird paths deep into the woods or through the river. And I don't know. Thank God we've got the dog to get us moving is really what this is about, because we've eaten so much throughout the holidays that it's like, get that body going.
Our dog is also not a I do not feel protected, even though he's 100+ pounds out there. He's
not
a big,
at all.
giant puss. Mm-hmm. He will not. He found his first. This was a while ago, I guess. He found a pheasant, and the pheasant pops up out of the bush and starts going. He ran. He took off in the other direction. He was scared to death. So I feel if you come across anything,
I'm always afraid we're going to come across
own.
boar. Oh, doing these walks, you can see how the boar destroy the fields.
Oh, all around us, all the fields have some damage from boar in them.
So
some
you'll
of them
first
are
see
good.
like the first bit of damage, which is light, is just the trampled
highway.
Yeah, the trampled highway. And sometimes like a big kind of circled out area where they start to roll around in or have some sort of late night party. Next step is when that late night party gets real ruckus and they start and it's a little too wet.
If they find a low spot in a field where a little bit of water will kind of pool up, they will go in there and start digging and turn it into a pool. And they have absolutely destroyed 2 fields, the one right after us and another one right around here with, I'm not joking, like destroyed all the way down through the topsoil, all the way down to the we have limestone underneath. What is it? What do you call the Jenga? Anyway, there's maybe 50 centimeters of soil, and then it's like a rock, a soft, sandy rock.
I think of it right now.
We call it Jenga. I don't know what the word
It's
is.
what people like to use for fracking, right?
They don't like to use
that's
for
what they
fracking.
look for. I forget. Shale.
Shale, there you go. Shale rock. Thank you. So they're all the way down to the stone, and this is not like, oh, well, you just get the tractor and you.
No, and it's not like a little hole or whatnot, like just a little circular hole of a size of a pig. They create like a
pool,
a pond in the middle of a field, and just dig it. It becomes like Jason's saying. It's so deep. It's feet deep.
Yeah. It's really deep. So you need heavy equipment. I don't think a tractor can just come in there and with a plow or something and fill it in. You need some kind of why can't I think in English today?
Digger?
Thank you. You need kind of a digger to smooth it out again. Mm-hmm. They really screw it up.
Well, it's means
and these are planted fields. These fields all have cover crops. So,
but it means the boar hunters have been out. So they've been busy this fall or winter, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we'll get a part of a boar delivered to us as usual.
My dog has no what do you call it? Prey drive at all. They got 4 boar the other day, did the field right in front of 2 fields over. And we heard it all, and we went and checked it out. And they're dragging them out of the field. And they're like, oh, come over, show him, show Leroy. Leroy could care less. He kind of walked over, checked him out. He's more interested in – did we tell this story already?
Maybe.
He's more interested in the hunters because he knows they have hot dog pieces in their pockets to give the dogs when they get on the scent. So that's my dog.
Yep. What else is going on? We're working, the 2023 calendar is basically all up. That is a sneak peek for you guys. We haven't sent out the big blast that's going out later this week with all of the workshops. And there's one, we are still finalizing the details. I've got the dates for mid-September. And at home we call it Meat Week. It's 4 nights, and it's about the quinto cuarto.
No, it's really not. That's part of it. But if you tell people it's only about innards and the offal, they're not going to come.
Okay, so how would you explain it?
We're going to do a week of exploring meat in the sense of how we butcher differently, how we different muscle groups that we use here in Italy versus in other parts of the world, and just getting off the main road of here's how you grill a steak. Listen, anyone can take a rib steak and grill it. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to use pieces that I like, pieces that are not so well known. So like a veal shank, like a big Fred Flintstone dinosaur bone, or a the breast of the cow, veal breast. We call it in the States. Here we call it puntine vitello.
You got a little NPR voice on that.
Oh, but just different things, not just let's grill the perfect steak. But I'm not into like, eating the trachea or like.
No, we're not going that.
No,
hardcore.
We're not going that.
We'll go up to the butcher at Aqua Partita and see how they butcher their meat, and have a little behind the scenes of the restaurant up there, and then a big lunch, and maybe go to our buddy Roberto's farm and see the animals, how they're raised. And
if you're into meat and cooking meat, it'll be a little something different. We're not. And just kind of see how we butcher and cook different muscle groups differently here than we do in the States.
There you go. So that more details to come. And on that same kind of meat note, Friday, I am super excited. We're going up to our friend's farm, Carlo and Giggia Cabianchino. We have done butchery workshops for them for years. And then the last couple years, COVID and whatnot, we've all been so busy doing other stuff.
We're going to find out when our piglets come.
Exactly. This is where we're getting our pigs. And they grow, raise, I should say, cinta
which is an antique type of pig. It's the spotted one. It's got...
Not spotted. It's got a stripe.
No, they're spotted. Are you sure?
Yeah.
A stripe?
Yeah. They're black with a white stripe.
I thought they're light with the dark spots.
They're stripes.
Oh, whatever. They're pigs. But they are known for their fat. So back in the day, you wanted pigs that grew a good amount of fat because here in Lind, in the central Italy, we don't have olive trees, and the main source that you cooked with was lard. So these grow a good, nice, fat cap on their backs. They take a long time to mature, which is good. The slower they go, the better that they taste. Their meat is very dark. If I showed you a pork chop, you would think that it's a beef. Mm-hmm. It's very, very dark in color, and they are not. I don't know. When I went to Roberto's last winter. He has the regular pink pigs, and they're just gross. They're like they have
no soul.
They have no soul. They're just dead inside.
And I like my meat to have soul.
Before we kill it, we want to make sure that it has a really strong soul. No, and when we go to Carlo and Gigia's, you look in the pig's eyes, and there's like life going. Like they run around out. I don't want a pig that just. I want I don't want like a inbred. Industrial pig.
No, these definitely have that throwback feel. And so we're going to go up and find out when we can bring 2 home and what else we need versus what we've already got set up for them.
Now, do we the choice we have here is this. Do we get 2 feeder pigs in the sense that 2 pigs, we raise them, we slaughter them, and we start over? Or do we get a male and a female and eat the babies?
People always love how that comes out.
Well, listen, you can call it whatever you want. That's exactly what's going on.
I'm not sure. We'll talk to them about it, what they think would be best.
I would imagine that if we get Mama and Dad, Papa, we're going to have to wait a whole lot longer.
I think so, too.
Versus if we get 2 feeders. Because it's already 2.5 years. Mm-hmm. So you'd probably be talking like...
And I'm hungry. I want a pig now.
So finally, I can have some animals in this freaking spot that we built so the people around here can stop making fun of us behind our backs. This animal area was completed last May, and we talked about it on the last one. It's not the talk of the town, but anyone who comes by here, a lot of hunter guys, they got questions. What the hell are you doing with that thing? Why is it sitting empty?
Yeah. you go to the house with the empty big fence.
Yeah, why is the fence so tall? And what kind of crazy animal are you going to keep in there? Looks like we're going to have lions or something.
I know, or like a giraffe. I don't know, something just super big. It's hilarious.
If you put a strip of barbed wire on the top of that fence, it is a prison.
It is. Well, that's about it for this podcast. Do you have anything else to add? I think it was just good to get back on and share some of the holiday recap.
No, that's it. We got pigs coming this weekend. Just kind of trying not to trying not to just, get into the rut of taking a nap. The sun goes down quick. I'm just trying to get off my ass a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's still so nice and warm. I feel like we're bound to get cold weather at some point. That it's got to flip. Otherwise,
if we don't, we're screwed. If we don't get a hard freeze, because we get a hard freeze every year. It's cold, like a real winter. Not cold. We're not Minnesota, Canada winter, but it's cold. It freezes. The ground it will have a stretch where it's really cold in February, late January. If we don't get that and it doesn't kill what it's supposed to kill, whether it's the bugs or the fungus, or I'm not.
Oh, and it's not just us. We thought we were going to do a little getaway up to the mountains, and not happening. There's like no snow in the Alps, or at least the where we were looking at going. So now instead we're just going to go to Pompeii because. We're just going to go to Pompeii and Napoli because it's like if it's going to be this mild and warm, we might as well go do something you could do outside like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to ski. So if we're going to go up to the mountains, I want to crunch snow on the ground and go sledding and all that. There's nothing. There's only snow on the slopes because they make it all.
Yep. It's not doing great up there.
No. And yeah, that'd be a bummer.
So this disgusting warm weather is not making anyone happy, but at least we could get some other projects done due to this dog that we didn't get done earlier because he's a time sucker.
It's a giant time waster. Yeah,
I know.
We got to get going. I got to walk him.
It's true.
All right. Anything else?
No, you know where to find us. latavolamarche.com, LATAVOLAMARCHE. And you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I guess I'm not even on really Twitter, so I don't even know why I say it. But have a wonderful day. That's about it.
Take care. Thanks for listening.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com. That's SENTIRE media.com and find out how to submit your show.